And they've done a nice job controlling the defensive backboard to start this game.
You know, Stan, you look at Wembanyama's frame. Does he need to get any stronger? Put on more muscle, more bulk?
Well, Kevin, of course he could use to improve on his strength. But he's strong enough right now to be one of the best players in the league. We've seen that. But as he gets older, a lot of that strength's just going to come naturally. The scary thing is for coaches and players around the league, not on his team, this guy's just going to keep getting better.
Here's Ware, following the three by Minnesota. And out of bounds as the Timberwolves gain possession. Timberwolves trail by 8. It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Gobert. It's tipped. And here's the fast break. Bailey with the ball. He's picked up by Irving. Pass to Castle. Here's Bailey. 6 on the shot clock. They get the rebound. Oh, he misses the dunk. And so the first quarter is in the books. Spurs out in front as they end the first quarter on a 14-6 run. And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And looking at what we've seen from the Spurs so far, guys, what do you think?
Well, they used the fast break to generate some easy buckets before the defense could get set.
Yeah, they've dictated the pace to this point, looking to run at every opportunity.
And with his skill, Nurkic can score from anywhere on the court. But when you're 280, his skills probably better utilized inside. And 10 of their last 12 coming off assists.
Brooks outside. Pass to Daniel. To stand, the Thunder were the rare young team to win it all. But championship teams usually have a lot of veterans. Why is that? I mean, how do you explain that role?
Well, look, the more you know, the more you've been through certain situations, the easier it is to react effectively in that situation. You'll see guys be ahead of a play. Why? Because they've seen that play hundreds, even thousands of times developing that young guys haven't. So experience certainly helps.
Spurs leading by 6. Into the lane. And finished off by Bailey.
And Bailey isn't bashful at attacking the basket, using those long strides to his advantage.
Here's Ware. Top of the key, Bailey. Another shot. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. There's always a need for shot makers in the NBA, GA, and that's what Ace Bailey brings to the fore.
Bailey has a smooth jumper with a high release point that allows him to shoot over just about any defender. And when you pair that with his physical tools, his upside is through the roof.
The first one falls. And Stan, the head coach, Chris Finch, bringing a culture of accountability to this Timberwolves team.
Yeah, Chris Finch challenges every player, Kevin, top to bottom. No sugarcoating Coach Finch's message, but at the same time, getting that buy-in that a coach has to have.
Back to Capella. And it's Brooks in the corner. The tray. Victor Wembanyama grabs the rebound.
A good board there, Kevin, but overall they're getting slightly out-rebounded.
Pass to Bailey. To the inside. And it's blocked. And they'll get another chance. And we're now a little over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter.
Well, clearly it hasn't been his best game offensively, but collectively, they've still found a way to get the lead.
Wow. Dillon Brooks off the bounce. Teammates are loving that. And this sort of awesome dunk is one of the reasons this team is in charge of this game.
Well, there's a swagger out there. You can see it on the court that they possess and are not afraid to show it either.
Well, he's such a natural talent, has all the skill needed to produce at a high level.
It's stolen by Capella. Inside, here's Irving, and it's good. Assisting on the play was Brooks. Irving's got his second bucket.
The plan of attack is obvious. Get the ball inside and go strong to the rim.
There's the screen. Rebound Minnesota. And they're running. Brooks with no one around. Misses the three. Spurs leading by 6. Pass to Harper. Wembanyama, a screen. And there's the call on Dylan Harper. That's foul number 2 for him.
2 fouls for him now in the first half. He's going to have to be really smart going forward.
And timeout called by Chris Finch. Coach is going to take a few minutes to regroup and go over the strategy. A minute 50 left now here in the second. Here's Huff, and it's blocked.
Great timing on the rejection there. This young kid, Sarr, has major defensive potential.
Thompson for 3. It's hauled in by Clint Capella. Timberwolves trail by 6. And the big fella Alex Zone showing promise. Greg especially at the defensive end of the floor.
Yeah, I mean, great mobility for a 7-footer. That's invaluable for a big man in today's game. And has the makings of a modern offensive game as well.
And the second free throw, good. And Greg, with Stephon Castle winning the 2025 Rookie of the Year award, the Spurs went back-to-back in that category.
Yeah, of course, Victor Wembanyama winning that same award in 24. Just more confirmation that these Spurs are building something special.
And let's go to the sideline. Here's Allen.
Hey, guys. We know Kyrie Irving is going to get his buckets, but he wants to keep everyone involved. He said, what's worked for me is allowing others to shine their light in their own capacity, encouraging them to do so, and then, when it's my turn, just flourishing in that role. Guys, back to you.
He does it well. All right, Allie, we thank you very much. To end the drought, drives to the hoop. And Harper slams it in.
So good at reading the floor off the bounce and getting into the teeth of the defense.
It's his first trip to the line.
And not the guy you want to see at the line too often. Season numbers has him in the bottom tier of the league.
And good depth for the Timberwolves. It can be challenging sometimes, Stan, choosing who plays and who sits.
Well, Kevin, that's the kind of problem you want as a coach. But they've traded away a lot of draft capital to assemble this roster. Now it's about paying them to keep them together.
Just 2 seconds between shot clock and game clock. Pass to Song. George up top. Here's Wembanyama. Covered by Irving. Just 5 on the clock. And they force the shot clock violation. Great D.
Substitution on the court.
And so it's San Antonio in control with the 9-point lead to end the quarter. They're pounding the ball inside, and that's where they've gotten their best production tonight. And we'll be right back after this. And for those of you just tuning in, thanks for being with us. The second half of this game still to play. Timberwolves trail by 9. And it's Brooks in the corner. Takes a 3. Buries the long-range jumper. Brooks has got the first points of the second half up on the board for the Timberwolves. Here's Wembanyama. It's George on the wing. Down low. Deflects the pass. Down to 5 on the shot clock. The Spurs need to get a shot off here. Castle misses. Here's Daniels. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. It's going to be on Alex Song.
Well, I like the activity of Daniels there.
And how about the emergence, Stan, of Dyson Daniels as an elite wing defender?
Yeah, look, Kevin, I think what happened with Dyson Daniels is he just got a chance to step into more playing time. And as he got that consistent time, he showed that he's not only one of the best defenders in this league, but he's got more offensive skill than people thought he had also.
Castle with it. Going inside. Plays it up and banks it in. Castle's got 6.
Castle's so good up and down the lane.
And it's Brooks in the corner. Off the mark there with the 3-point shot.
And they continue to control the glass. Oh, that's a major league throwdown.
Keeps a tight grip on that rim, too, after the finish. San Antonio calls timeout. And here's George. He'll bring it up for the Spurs. They've led by as many as 11 points. Next up on the schedule, the Grizzlies. That'll be a home game. That game will be a quick pit stop before hitting the road again.
This is why you involve the big man Sarr in pick and rolls. He understands how to take advantage. He takes advantage of them in every way possible.
And Greg, he lures them into a trap on the steal, and then bang, right to the bucket.
Turning great defense into great offense. That's the kind of stop you're looking for.
Thompson with it. Now defended by Gobert. Thompson with the bucket.
Just no resistance on the inside. That's their 5th consecutive make in the paint.
And timeout called by Chris Finch. He's going to have a discussion on the sideline. Minnesota making a switch. A little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the third. In the corner, it's DiVincenzo. The Timberwolves again can't hit.
A good job by him on the glass here tonight. +8 in that department.
To the middle. Back to Castle. Clock at 6. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. Here we go, Coach. The 2025 Rookie of the Year, Stephon Castle.
Yeah, look, Kevin, you can't say too many good things about this guy, but it starts with this. Like all the best players in the league, he plays both ends of the floor. Stephon Castle can take on the assignment of guarding the best player on the other team, and he's a guy whose skills are rapidly improving offensively. The future is great for this guy.
Here's Brooks. And the rejection by Wembanyama. They swipe it. Capella, high post. And it's Paul George with the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Third quarter action in just under 3.5 minutes have gone. Outside Irving. Shot clock at 6. Pass to Brooks. Over Castle. Another miss by Minnesota.
The shot's there for him, and he's got to take it. I don't care if he doesn't convert. That's a shot he has to continue to take.
And there's a whistle. That goes on Dylan Brooks. That's his first foul. Now here's Harper. Lets it go from deep. Again, the miss by the Spurs. Here's Capella. And he finishes nicely on the layup.
Well, offensively, that is where you want Capella to get his look.
Pass to Bailey. To the paint. Where? And there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
Wow, and that sort of showmanship is just deflating right now to a team trying to get back into a game like this.
Ouch, Greg, that is definitely an emphasis jam. A big apostrophe or exclamation point, maybe even a question mark. Now, let's take a minute to talk to Allie LaForce courtside. Allie.
Thanks, Kevin. Well, the Spurs are on the rise. Victor Wembanyama said, quote, "I've been on board since day one. We know it's not going to be a straight line. There will be ups and downs. This is not easy, but I'm very confident in the will that my guys have. The long term is never being questioned." Back to you, Kevin.
They'll get there for sure. All right, Allie, thank you for the report. Timberwolves trail by 7. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Brooks. Capella's got 4 points in the quarter.
The closer Capella is, the more effective he becomes, showing off the nice touch there.
Here's Wembanyama. Here's Ware. And he makes it look easy, dunking it hard with one hand.
That's why you never quit battling on the offensive glass.
And that's a nice reward for his effort. The flush. Perfect.
Well, that's what he does. He makes an impact with his activity on the board.
Bailey misses.
Muscling down that rebound. Big man playing big.
And the 3 ball is good. DiVincenzo's got 6. Here's Castle. And it is good at the buzzer. Wow.
and give him credit. Good awareness of the time remaining.
Yeah, really a perfect way to finish that quarter on a strong, positive note.
And so it's San Antonio. 3/10 quarters behind us and more to go. Thanks for being with us as we begin the fourth. Spurs leading by 6. Somehow misses the one-handed flush.
Come on, you can't be doing that. I know these guys want to put on a show, but you can't pass up scoring opportunities.
Rudy is so used to fighting inside. This guy will do whatever it takes.
So Coach Van Gundy, after 4 Defensive Player of the Year awards, his last coming in 2024, do you think Rudy Gobert has a chance at another?
Well, look, Kevin, I think Rudy continues to play at just as high a level defensively. But now as the game has changed, I think we're starting to reward guys with those awards who can not only protect the rim and make it tough on teams, but can go out on the perimeter and guard multiple positions. So I think it'll be tough for him to get a fit.
Pass to Bailey. Here's Castle. To the inside. Daniels with the steal. Here's DiVincenzo. San Antonio with the rebound. They've led by as many as 11 points. Spurs passing it around. From 10 feet out, here's Simmons, and it's Daniels with the rebound.
Yeah, credit the defense there, not allowing the easy layup.
Back to Gobert. Harper with the steal. Here's Bailey. Oh, took the contact and tried to throw it down over the top, but instead he'll shoot free throws. That's on Miles Bridges.
And you love when Simmons plays with aggression inside because it really forces the D to adjust.
Timeout Spurs. Second to catch up with Allie LaForce on the sidelines.
I was able to hear the Spurs coach going over their plan during the break. He told his guys to stay after it, to not get complacent and lazy with this lead. He wants them to keep adding to it. We'll see if they're able to do it, guys.
All right, Allie, thank you so much for that. And that one misses.
Well, probably a little draft in the arena tonight. He's the last guy you expect to miss the mark by that much.
Absolutely. Timberwolves trail by 7. Pass to Capella. Now DiVincenzo. Now Capella. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass.
Vital basket there. This is just the time and really just the situation when he looks to take over.
And a wide open look for Wembanyama. Again, the miss by the Spurs. Here's Irving. Rebounded by Bailey.
I wonder what the score would be if they weren't controlling the backboard.
In the corner, Simmons with it. Back to Wembanyama. San Antonio getting another chance here. Castle with it. 5 to shoot. Inside. Here's Irving. And the wide open shot from DiVincenzo. Good, and the assist goes to Irving.
Their ability, again, to stretch the floor, particularly in this second half.
Yeah, and where has the defense been? They've been content to let them fire away. They've got to close out to the arc.
And so Chris Finch calls for the timeout. He's clearly intent on wanting to lock in and make sure everyone's on the same page. Minnesota making a switch. Timberwolves trail by 4. A bit under 3.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth. Here's Brooks. Puts up the 3. Does not go.
And they've controlled the glass throughout this game, but it's still close.
Simmons.
And a good physical play there from Simmons, not letting the foul stop him from getting that shot off.
Timeout Spurs. That free throw missing. He's off on the second. Timberwolves trail by 4. Now DiVincenzo. There's a good screen. Nice use of the glass on the finish.
Wow, that was a big make from DiVincenzo.
Now Wembanyama. Brooks with it. Now defended by Sarr. And they're able to recover. Brooks right side. Pocket pass to the paint. And he punches it home.
And wow, what a time to tie this game up, guys.
It took a while, but they chipped away, and now it's anyone's game.
An automatic finisher when he gets. Into that area.
He is, and he picks the simple one-hand stuff to get the 2 points. Irving outside. Brooks outside to take the lead. Buries the deep ball.
And this is why Brooks is out there. Amazing watching him come up in the clutch for his squad.
Paul George, and he misses the J.
A big for the big man. Wembanyama stepping up in a huge way.
Here's DiVincenzo.
And they had a foul to give, but you want to use it on the ground.
He doesn't have the first, and that was the one they really want. He's got one more, though. So it's both teams making substitutions here.
Well, they tied it up, but that was a good chance to pull in front.
Now Zorn. Thompson outside. And there's the dunk.
That is world class.
Yeah, and I can say from experience, his coach just breathed a huge sigh of relief. Well, you got to love that Rudy Gobert was ready in a key moment.
Shot and game clock separated by 5. Now Zorn. Oh, what a powerful dunk. That was a no-doubter.
And this kid has star written all over him. Star putting the league on notice.
And so Chris Finch calls for the timeout. And he knows there's no room for mistakes and wants everyone on the same page in terms of strategy here. Any thoughts?
And they've got plenty of time to get a basket.
No doubt, but they might have to draw up something that the defense isn't expecting.
Rebounded by Thompson.
You know, and after fighting to get back into it, that was the chance there to tie it up.
Yeah, that could be deflating. They have to lock back in.
That's right. No other option but to foul and for some misses.
He hits the first one, and that makes it a 3-point lead.
Pressure moment for Tassel.
And he cannot convert on the second. That misses. Here's Landale. The three is off. And they stop the clock as soon as they can with the intentional foul. And no good is the first free throw, missing for him. We'll see if he can nail the second. And he ends up making the second, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. And the officials are calling a technical foul here. You don't see this too often, but they tried to call for a timeout when they had none left.
And guys, you know that during the last timeout, the guys are all reminded and reminding each other, hey, we don't have any left. What a huge error.
Certainly, Greg, not one we see very often, but it does happen. His mind was diverted on other things, I guess, not the time.